What is crack-a-lackin', everybody? Ramdian and Black with you. This is the championship rounds, talking about UFC 214. Everybody knows about the main event, Jon Jones and Daniel Cormier, the light heavyweight championship.
If you haven't, we're not talking about that, but it is on the YouTube page. Quick search, you'll find it. We talked about it earlier.
As much as I love that fight, I love the welterweight division. You were hanging out with arguably the greatest welterweight of all time in Montreal, training with some GSP. How was that?
He literally almost killed me, and he was being, and he is.
He thought he was being gentle.
He was being gentle. He is considered a great training partner, so good and so safe and so gentle and so like easy on you that he can roll with the smallest people, and he just about killed me. And I swear to you, there are moments, like you've had these moments where like somebody will they're in your guard, and they'll kind of like control your biceps.
Yeah.
Once he kind of came up high like this,
if he
I realized
elbow,
if he
I'd be dead.
it would cave my head in, and I could feel like the dominance of this man. Yeah, helpless. Like, and I trained fighting for much of my adult life, and I know that a lot of people who train a bit of hockey for their adult life, and Wayne Gretzky be like, oh shit. Yeah. But the helplessness that I felt, he could have killed me at any moment. Even like he'd take a sweep from a guillotine. He swept me 6 or 8 times in one round, and he tapped me probably only 3 or 4. After the 3rd or 4th, he was like, well, I don't want to, make this guy piss his pants or anything. But he would like take a sweep from guillotine and gently throw you over, but you still feel your back. Oh, it was terrible. But also a real privilege.
And a pleasure.
Yeah,
I can imagine.
He's such a great guy.
Just the level of athlete and martial artist that is George St. Pierre. We know that he's going to be certainly watching this, again, not the main event, but, as close as a main event as you can get, the welterweight championship. His title, I guess, on the line. Tyron Woodley, the champion, taking on Demian Maia. Demian Maia getting that victory over Masvidal, asking Dana White, give me my title. Dana White says, you got it. So this fight materializes. It feels that Woodley has a whole bunch of advantages in this fight. Except for one in particular that he may have. It's an intangible. When we talk about fight IQ, in-cage, in-ring intelligence, I feel that Demian Maia is one of the top in the business because he knows how to shut people's games down. You just watch the Masvidal fight.
It's true. So the real, like the thing I can't wait to see, right, is that little game that Demian Maia plays where he takes you down using something that people who have studied wrestling their whole life wouldn't describe as wrestling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like and anybody who's trained, there's certain jiu-jitsu gyms that you train at where they'll use what we'll call takedowns that are done with modified judo. But the games of judo of the push and the pull and the destabilizing. And the really good people at that, when you like strengthen it out or go to fight it in any logical athletic way, that's the worst part.
That's the worst part.
Yeah.
That's the trap where you're stationary and it's like perfect. You're going to go this way or this way.
Yeah, and the simple idea when we do judo is if I push this way,
you push in.
And and either like say I'm Demian Maia and I push you like that and you push back.
In.
And then we do something with that, right? And that simple principle and with almost a tightrope walker mentality. Like you see these tightrope walkers with like tiny little adjustments.
Yeah.
Instead of the little adjustment the tightrope walker uses to stay like safe on the tightrope, Demian uses them to destabilize you. So he uses little tiny adjustments within that, and your natural reactions are what stop you. And that is the basics of manipulative martial arts, judo, jiu-jitsu, even Aikido and ones that are like much more traditional than that. That's the basics. Push hands. Those are the basics. And they work really great against an athlete. And that's what he'll try to do. And if he can do it, and then you base out, all of a sudden he's on your back. Or he's in a half guard. Or he's on something. And then you start to freak out and oh no, and he got a little further. That's what he has to do. If he doesn't do that, he gets murdered.
Now the question is, everybody's talking about American Top Team right now because they are, as much as you look at Robbie Lawler was a champion. Amanda Nunes, those are knockout artists. Some of the other, Junior DeSantos called that place home at, I don't know if he still does. But they're a jiu-jitsu gym. Like that's Ricardo Laborio is considered one of the best jiu-jitsu instructors in the world. And if you look at Demian Maia, he was able to choke out Carlos Condit, he was able to take out Matt Brown, he was able to dominate Gunnar Nelson. Look at the list of guys that he submitted. He didn't submit Jorge Masvidal.
No.
He trains at American Top
In fact, he said
with Tyron Woodley.
In fact, he was pretty blown away, not by the stuff that we see, by the stuff he felt.
He's like, I didn't realize he'd be that strong on the ground because he
that's
doesn't
smart in the little
strong.
things.
Yeah.
The little things, right? And he said he
grips
studied my
and,
game exactly. The little things, the things that armchair Sunday morning fight enthusiasts aren't always the most entertained by. Demian was like, oh, this guy's pretty good, right? And you're right. But when I talk to some of the greatest conversations that I've learned the most from and enjoyed the most have been this weird little ongoing 8 or 10 ideas, 8 or 10 short paragraphs at a time of conversation with Mike Brown and Dean Thomas. That I've continually had over the last year. There was a streak between the MMA awards, where I was nominated for Analyst of the Year, and Mike and Dean spent a lot of time that night. We were chatting, and I would talk to one at a time, and then a little together. And then we saw them again in Buffalo, and we saw them again in Dallas, and that conversation continues. And it's most interesting when they're apart, because I'm getting little insights into how they think. And those two together, I think, bring in this real, complete picture of all of the in-betweens, all of the little details of fighting. Mike built his from the wrestling mentality up, and Dean built his from sort of the martial artist, flowy martial artist, jiu-jitsu, karate, boxing, kickboxing, blending of those during that period. And together they're fucking so brilliant. And you see how brilliant the team is. You just listed just the top level ones, and they get better and better and better. So is Tyron Woodley prepared? Yeah.
He will be.
Is he more athletic? Yeah. Is he dangerous? Can he knock him out with a shot or two? Yeah, he can. So Maia has to get his thing going, and he's got to get it going early. And one of the keys to it is 1 second he's here, and then the next second he's on you in a non-athletic way.
But the question is, when you have an athlete and a fighter and a guy that has been at such a high level in Tyron Woodley, can you get there before he can sense the danger and get out of dodge?
Yeah, and sense is the word, right? Sense is the word. And it's the next thing we're trying to be able to understand and be able to share with people is, if you shoot a double leg on this guy, he sees it and reacts a certain way. Demian tries to do it where there's no launch, there's none of the physical
traditional setups.
Yeah, none of the physical tells that you can see. It just sort of happens. And that is a lifetime of sensitivity to make that happen. And it takes a certain amount of sensitivity to be able to detect it, which is why over and over he was doing that. Fucking Carlos Condit spent a lifetime doing the highest level of martial arts. He's one of the greatest welterweights ever. And he's in him.
Yeah.
He's on him. He's on him. He was just about in him.
He could have been in him.
Could have been in him. Right? If it was prison, he'd be in him. And he's just got him. And he's done that a lot. But you better do that in the first round, or you're going to get a lot of punches to your head. And that's the thing. Woodley doesn't have to load up on shit. Just touch him up, touch him up, get him to panic, now get him to shoot, now get him, you can read him, and he starts beating him up, and it doesn't go 5 rounds.
One of the things we've seen, you mentioned 5 rounds, that Demian Maia happens, again, he's closer to 40 than he is 30, and we've seen him get tired. And, of course, he's going to address that. This is a championship fight. He's going to be in the best shape humanly possible. But that still doesn't matter. We've seen that. Once you get to round 4, you get to round 4. And once you get to round 5, you get to round 5, especially having to work against a guy like Tyron Woodley. So how important is it that Demian Maia goes after things in the first 3 rounds?
If anybody thinks that Demian Maia is going to win this fight, and they are better, and we advise against that for a lot of reasons, it's Demian Maia by submission inside the distance. Does anybody really think he's going to win a decision against that mega, super athlete, super, that guy grew up wrestling like that, and it's not just the work, right? The wrestling work is fatiguing. The only thing more fatiguing than that to Tyron Woodley are fights like he had with Stephen Thompson. Way more fatiguing. Way more fatiguing.
On here? I just don't know what am I trying to figure out.
You get him to wrestle, grab his leg, or get him to grab yours.
I'm used to this.
Yeah, exactly.
I've
been doing this my whole life, but this jumpy shit,
jumpy.
He's coming at me. Like that is that your nervous system fatigues.
So that's the move for Demian Maia. Put this guy in positions he is rarely in, and dominate those positions to try to overload that, to make him freak out and give up his back or do something where Demian Maia can take full advantage.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think of other possibilities because that's the fun of it, right? Not the fun isn't necessarily, hey, Woodley, if he hits him with his right hand, he goes down, or if I'm Woodley, that's fun too. But I'm trying to think of what other things could we possibly see? What are other things? And do you, if you are Demian Maia and his people, and it starts getting pressury, and Woodley starts coming in and landing and gets aggressive, do you pull guard?
Verdum and Alistair Overeem.
Yeah. Do you?
The last fight.
Yeah, but can you sweep Woodley? I mean, in that room that he trains in, can you sweep him? Can you submit him from guard?
What are your options?
Room? That's it. That's what I'm saying.
Because Demian Maia has essentially laid out his cards through the entire his mixed martial arts career. Yeah. I'm a jiu-jitsu fighter that's tailored my game for mixed martial arts. I'm not there to hurt people. I'm there to render you either unconscious
or you tap out in those moments before.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's my game, and I'm going to master that game. But again, when there's all these other factors where, okay, I can't just do this because the guy's punching power, he takes people's lights out with one punch. Now I have to be worried about that. Do you think we're going to see some evolved striking by Demian Maia? Is that one of the things? Okay, nobody thinks this is. I'm going to come out and try to slug with Tyron Woodley.
I mean, you get one or two chances to do that when he's prepared for everything but that. But Demian Maia, has he ever one-punched anybody?
No.
I remember him getting one-punched.
Yeah.
Through the air. But I'm really excited about this now. I'm really excited. And this is not going 5 rounds. If it were 3, which is Lawler and Cowboy, could Demian Maia win 2 of 3 rounds? Maybe. But he can't win 5. And if he's... Although, can't. I mean, crazier things have happened.
It's improbable.
It's improbable.
That's improbable. That's just the way it works, based on the math, based on what we've seen, based on their fighting abilities, based on their age, and all of those factors. It seems improbable.
Yes, that's a much better way to put it.
It also seemed improbable that Demian Maia would beat Carlos Condit. Yeah. And it also seemed improbable that he would be able to weather the storm against Matt Brown. But Demian Maia finds a fucking way. And that's the most interesting part about it, is, as you pointed out, he's got all these different trips and takedowns that may be not traditional for Tyron Woodley. And it's like, how? Afterwards, they're like, how did he even do that?
Yeah, and
because of that.
That game of just getting close enough to get a body lock and lace one leg, we see a lot of that now. And we see it because it's a route. It's a route that can work. We don't need to get your legs and squeeze them together and throw it on the ground. We don't need to get a single, make space and chest pressure you down, or switch it to the other, or get to the ankle pick, or all of these complex things that everybody in the gym has learned to defend for the last half decade. I can just get to a body lock, reach the far shoulder, lace the leg, and then get up onto your back.
With no. And so I don't even care if we go to the ground.
If he could do that to my man Jorge.
Yeah,
he might be able to do that. He might be able to do that. So your Lawler or your Woodley and his guys. Woodley's actually people have been joking about the backpack, which is how people jokingly kind of refer to that approach these days. Been joking about the backpack with him for quite some time, and he's been discussing being prepared for it. So even if they're looking at it and going, of course, that route is an easier route. So I'm sure there's a lot of that. Some people call them worst case scenario drills. Well, let's categorize that as one. And there are lots of fighters who, for the 5 weeks, will do worst case scenario drills every single day. And if you are, you're doing this one.
Yeah. Worst case scenario for Robbie Lawler and Donald Cerrone. Worst case is one of these guys gets knocked the fuck out. And I have a feeling that's what we're going to see. We know what type of... as much as I like seeing evolved fighters, I love watching fighters fight the game, fight the style that brought them to the show. And that's what you get from Robbie Lawler. All about refinement. Somebody tries to take me down, I'm just not going to let you take me down. And then I'm going to try to knock your head into the fucking bleachers. And Cerrone's the same thing. However, Cerrone's like, okay, if you want to take me down, take me down. I'm gonna make it hard for you. But if you do, I'm just gonna strangle you on the ground.
Yeah, Cerrone has advantages on the ground over almost everybody, which only appears in those rare moments that we get there. And that's a nice... Man, that must be nice, eh? To be able to win out there with 3 and 4 punch combinations and landing head kicks on people and making an extra 50 every night. And just every now and again, oh shit, I got dropped. Oh, okay, I'll
do this.
Sweet, yeah, I'll do one of these 6 things that always work. It's pretty nice. This guy's much bigger than him. And Lawler is a psychological giant. And there have been times where Cowboy has been a little too not let himself go in the first few minutes, so that's at play.
Yeah, and it's I guess the last example of that
for sure. And then and Pettis, and it's happened to him. He's turned that corner and he goes out. He's very comfortable early. And Lawler has taken that old approach, Bruce Lee thinking. You don't have to do 10,000 things. You do 1 or 2, or in his case, 3 or 4 things 10,000 times, and you're so good at them, you make them work. And his limited menu, right-handed really, but a right hand forward, it's a little different to deal with. Personally, I have a feeling he's going to look a little older and slower. I just have that feeling. And if he does, and Cowboy picks up on that early and starts smashing that leg, because the front... To throw that hard right hand forward, a lot of weight on the front, and we've seen in his life, Lawler's got that front leg kicked a lot, and because he's so tough, I mean, I can check them, but I'll just take a few of these and then knock you out. I mean, if you go back, Melvin Manhoff, what was that, Strikeforce, or one of those. You go back and you watch that on Fight Pass.
Melvin Manhoff was fucking him up, and destroying his legs.
Exactly. And I'm not saying watch it because fighting's the same now, but the thinking is the same. It's like, I've got at least 2 or 3 more of these I can handle. And if you keep doing that, I'm going to knock you unconscious. And he may still think like that. So Cowboy can't just, and Cowboy's team, and they won't, but they can't just go, well, let's dance around on the outside and kick this guy's leg, because he starts to anticipate it and catch you.
Well, we'll start with that. But isn't that the plan?
Then
when you're talking, I love what you're saying about Robbie Lawler. He uses a few things where Cerrone's menu seems to be pretty diverse and pretty varied. When you think about that, which, if you had to put some ducats on, whose philosophy will prevail? Is it? We'll remove age. Remove the fact that Robbie Lawler's been around for a long time. Let's just say this is the Robbie Lawler of 4 years ago. Where it's like, oh yeah, this guy's the man. Based on that, what do you see?
So, if I may oversimplify it for the purpose of just oversimplifying, this microphone is really, really badass at 5 or 6 things, and this microphone is really badass at 20 complicated things. If this is a 10 out of 10 on those 6, and we're a 7 out of 10, you're going to crush me. The problem is that Cowboy is a 9. Or a 9.5. Yeah. He's a genius. When he's on, he's fucking brilliant. And it was in an interview I did with Greg Jackson for Fight Network when he was here. Doo Ho Choi fought Cub, and he fought. He kicked Matt Brown in the head. That was awesome. And he had a bunch of fighters that night. And when talking about them, the one he's like, Cowboy Cerrone is a genius of combat. When he gets out of his own way, he's brilliant. And you saw it on that night. You saw it against Rick Story. You saw it against Pat. When he's truly at his best, when he's truly free and enjoying fighting the way he enjoys mayhem and the way he enjoys jumping motorcycles and water skiing, whatever shit he does, and doesn't carry the extra weight of the fight and just lives it, he'll beat any man. He'll beat Robbie Lawler.
Do you expect to finish in this fight, or would you be surprised if, at this stage, it seems both guys are more intelligent. Yes, they can get a knockout, but why play that game unless we're 100% sure? I know it feels like it's in both guys, but it's like they understand how dangerous this fight. Now all fights are dangerous, but as you pointed out, if Robbie Lawler hits you clean one time, that's a life-changing punch.
It's true.
If Donald Cerrone kicks you in the fucking head, you're in big trouble.
Yeah.
Both guys know it. So I could see how they would be conservative.
I just
15
think
minutes.
that Cowboy's at his best when he isn't. And if he's not, and he's not concerned with it, it's such a strange thing. And the great Sean Tompkins used to tell his boys this all the time. And they were boys, Mark and Sam and Cris. Cris was a 16-year-old. He would say, what are you afraid of? I'm afraid of getting knocked out. Your best chance of not getting knocked out is not being afraid of getting knocked out. As weird as that sounds.
That's the game we're in.
Yeah, it's like, be free of it. Let it go. And when you can do that, and when Cowboy does that, he wins. And if he does that against Lawler, he wins.
UFC 214 profiling a number of fights at 170 pounds. Cowboy Cerrone, Robbie Lawler. Who knows? It could be fight of the night or fight of the year candidate.
Cyborg. Oh, yeah, you think a finish for Cyborg?
I would imagine so. I think
performance
this is just a showcase fight. Unfortunately, there aren't too many fighters in the caliber, the level of Cris Cyborg. So what the UFC's doing, props to Tonya Evinger. She's been trying to get into the UFC for so long. She's had to take the hard route. The hard route is taking this
at a weight class up.
Exactly.
So good on her. Good on her. Go be free.
Against Cyborg.
But Cyborg's a monster. It's just incredible talent.
And I think that the fans they're going to get behind her again because this is just like how Ronda Rousey was kind of a spectacle, even though she was super talented. Seeing her throw girls and then rip their arms off. People want to see Cyborg storm across the cage, smash some people, smash her opponents. They drop. She freaks out. The crowd goes nuts. And then she's very nice.
Yeah.
If you've ever had a chance to talk to her, she's such a nice person that you want to be around. She's a great ambassador for women's mixed martial arts, for mixed martial arts in general. She's fighting Lawler versus Cerrone, and then the welterweight championship fight between Tyron Woodley and my boy Demian Maia.